Yo, what's going on, guys? Moon Teechurch here, and today we're bringing you a video of the different settings of each of our Moon unit members. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and remember to stay till the end to hear my recommendations.
Yo, what's good, boys? Moon Grifs here. These are my current settings. I play on an Xbox Series X, so it's gonna vary to what I would play like on PC on controller. But yeah, let me just go through this first. I think Tritanope's the best. I've been on Tritanope for forever. Tritanope 5, that's what I always use. Max brightness on console just because of the shadows and stuff. Pretty much everyone uses max brightness. I used to have on auto pickup weapons. I don't have that on anymore. These are my like auto sign slots. I like having my shotgun in the first slot and then my AR in the last slot. And that's like kind of the only things that I use for like preferred slots. Yeah, I'm just gonna scroll down. If you guys want to pause it, then that's fine. I use a 90 HUD scale, which is like, I feel like it's pretty small, but I don't know. Or sorry, it's pretty larger than like a lot of people in comp, but I don't know. I just like it like that. For damage numbers, I have it on cumulative. Everything else, I'll just scroll down there. Here's my controller sense and my controller sensitivities. So obviously at a hold time 0. Okay, yeah, so my look and horizontal speed are both 37. I actually recently lowered that. They used to be like 41, but I felt like I needed it slower because my controller like has drift. And then my build and edit sensitivities are like 2.1 each. And no boost. ADS is 0.8. And on linear, a lot of people play Expo on console, but I don't know. I just have always liked linear. Dead zones are 7. I always say this is like very... like, it depends on what controller you have. Here's my controller settings. So here, I'll move my face cam up. So I have the weirdest binds ever. I wouldn't recommend copying them. I jump with left bumper, and the only reason I do that is because I've been doing it since like 2010 in Halo. And I've done it for like every game since then. So yeah, I jump with left bumper. And I switch mode with right stick, which I honestly don't like, but I've just been using it since the start of Fortnite, and I don't want to change. Toggle pickaxe Y, I look, you want to change that, but yeah, that's the only button is my toggle pickaxe that I have to take my like right thumb off to press. My previous weapon, since my left bumper's jump, my previous weapon is A, and that's binding to a paddle. I have 4 paddles in my controller, which one of them is edit as well. I have it binded to edit as well. And these are my build controls, pretty much the same thing. Other than the roof piece is on a paddle as well, since it's on A. Yeah, edit controls, I use edit on release. And I have, yeah, I might confirm binding to a paddle as well. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Those are my settings. Peace.
So what's going on, guys? Now that you've got to go through the settings of the Moon Unit players, I wanted to go through and just highlight a couple of things using my settings. You don't have to use the exact same ones I'm going to show here, but I'll just kind of go over, a couple of differences that I see a lot of players use. So the first thing I'm going to start with is resolution. I see a lot of players using a stretch res somewhere between 1720 by 1080 to... There's a couple of other 1700, 1800 resolutions, but they stretch the screen just a little bit and make it a bit easier to kind of, they expand the horizontal FOV just a little bit, which makes it easier for you to see certain things and a little bit easier to aim and to build. As far as your brightness goes, now obviously Grifs talked about on console how they use 150% brightness for shadows. I don't think you necessarily have to turn this up if you don't want to, but if you're having difficulty seeing and the colors of the screen seems a bit too dark, you could definitely go that way with it. Now for me, I do have performance mode on, so a lot of these settings are not going to be the same as if you're running DX12 or DX11. You're going to have a lot more things to choose. And then as far as colorblind goes, I actually play with mine off. But I do think Tritano is pretty good. It keeps colors kind of like bright and vibrant. So that is actually a good setting for you guys to use. Now, as far as any different things, obviously like toggle sprint, at this point you probably want that to be off. We can go through also like sensitivity. Now, I personally play on a higher sensitivity, but there are definitely like wide sensitivity ranges that will be beneficial to you for different things. So I've found, for me personally, the balance between mechanics and aim on 9.6 seems to fit me pretty well, but there are a lot of people that will play as low as like 4.4% like we saw with Diego, and that's perfectly fine. Each sensitivity kind of provides strengths and weaknesses that you'd have to adapt to over time. Now, especially if you're on keyboard, something that I think is definitely important is to use the in-game double movement settings. So here you can see I have mine set to 70, 90, 135. I think that gives a good balance to being able to strafe at wide angles while also not losing your momentum, because if you do turn it up to too high, say for like 85, you do start to see a lot of loss in momentum whenever you change direction with your arrow keys. Now, I obviously don't play on controller, so I don't know as much about these types of settings. When we're talking about keybinds, I do want to go over that just a little bit. So for our building keybinds, I have my wall and my floor on my mouse buttons. I have my stairs on C, as well as my roof on left shift. This allows me to have very efficient keybinds. Now, I am aware that certain mice, the side buttons on them aren't the best. So you may, as a player, want to stick with keyboard binds. My biggest recommendation here is to learn how to use both your thumb and your pinky very efficiently, so that you can put binds on those fingers that frees up your index finger and your ring finger to use for both movement, or if you want to stack additional keybinds on either of those fingers. Those are my recommended settings, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to remember to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.